Hello and welcome back to the Case Foundation's Facebook Live studio at the American Cities House at South by Southwest, put on by TechCo and the Kauffman Foundation. We have our third interview of the day, where I am so fortunate to be sitting down with Bryanda Law, the founder of Quirktastic. And Quirktastic was, I don't know if you were an official fan favorite, but you were one of my favorites from the Digital Undivided Big Accelerator Demo Day last December down in Atlanta. Yes. And so I'm thrilled to have you here with us today and to learn a little bit more about what Quirktastic is up to.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that seems like such a long time ago that we were down in Atlanta. So much has happened since then.
In the life cycle of an early entrepreneur, things move fast,
yes,
right?
So rapidly.
So why don't you start out by telling us a little bit more about what Quirktastic is, and I think especially since it is very much a personal thing, like why you founded the company.
Yeah, so Quirktastic is a media and technology platform for quirky people of color. So we create media and technology products. We have a content site as well as e-commerce, which is the Quirk Shop. We also have QuirkCon, which will be a multi-genre convention that we're doing in 2019. But we've been doing pop-ups throughout the North America this year, including South by Southwest. And the last thing that we're working on is an app called Connie, which will be a fun app for con goers. I decided to do that just because I didn't want people, especially people of color, to feel like they couldn't go to the events that they wanted to attend because their friends didn't want to go. But then I'm pretty sure that they're in Facebook groups to where people are going. So it's just an easy way for them to connect and never feel alone at their quirky events and conventions.
Now, I know that we're at South by, and a lot of people here understand what it is to be a quirky person.
Yes.
But for those people either here or on Facebook Live who maybe don't understand, what exactly do you mean when you say a quirky person of color? Can you explain a little bit more of what that looks like and what type of content that you put out to your users?
Yeah, I've had to actually ask myself this during customer discovery when I was coming up with Quirktastic, because I would say quirky and people were like, oh, like I don't know if I'm quirky, like I'm kind of nerdy, I like this, I like that. So I was able to narrow it down to different personas. So you have your geeks, which are the people that are into like anime, cosplay, which is like dressing up as like your favorite characters like Sailor Moon. You have the nerds that are into like comic books. Super excited that Black Panther came out, Marvel, things like that, and even technology. Then you have the alternatives, which is kind of like where I used to be, like high school. I was like in my grunge era, like kind of emo, but like alternative rock, went to Warped Tour all the time. And then you have the free spirits, which was also like kind of where I fall as well. Trying out veganism for the first time, especially coming from like a Southern family, and just trying out more of the spiritual realm of things. So that's how I was able to do it. I also found out that a lot of quirky people have been told that they talk white or act white throughout their life. So it's just been really cool to cultivate this community. So but yeah, that's pretty much how we decided.
And why did you find it important or a good business opportunity to speak specifically to quirky people of color?
Yeah, I mean, as a resident quirky person of color for the past 25 years, I just remember what it was like feeling like I was the only one, especially with my family. My family is very into like hip hop culture and things like that. So when I would come up listening to like some Screamo or something, they'd be like, "Oh my God, like where did you come from?" So I thought it was important also because there are like 43 million quirky people of color, like Black and Latino people, and there was no mass media platform for us. Like you have a few that touch on like Black millennials or older people of color, but nothing that showed that we were super multidimensional. So I thought it was important to cultivate that and create a community so that other people knew that there were people like them out there as well.
I love that. And especially through the personas, you're showing, you know, that it's not even that, oh, there is a particular, like, this is what a quirky person or person of color is, but to just say, like, this is a category of people who are experiencing the things that they like and don't like in a lot of different kinds of ways. And being able to speak to kind of that wide audience is really important.
Exactly. And I was going to say, even through the personas, like, a lot of people fall into several different ones, like, depending on what phases of life or just the fact that we are, like I said, multidimensional people. Like, I like like anime, but I also like alternative rock music. Like, it's just interesting to see that people can be expressed as within the different interests that they like. So.
I know you've got a lot going on in the different business areas that you talked about, but, you know, at the heart of it, you're a media and an events company. You know, I would think, okay, New York seems like a great place to found that type of company. You know, maybe Silicon Valley because there's some tech involved, but you're in Durham.
Yeah.
So why did you start things in Durham, and what kind of support systems have you found there?
Yeah, well, I will say, like, I'm a very scrappy founder. Like, I can make something out of, like, nothing, and I feel like it's better to be in a place where it's more affordable since a lot of things are online. Like, I was able to cultivate a pretty big community, like, just from my room, you know? So I was like, I don't need to be out in New York. Though, being in Durham has been great. You have the American Underground that's there, which is also has like a Google for Entrepreneur hub. So just there being with their technology hub, as well as the creatives in Durham. You have the Black Wall Street there as well. So a lot of people of color that are doing things. Just a lot of creatives. They inspire me. They come out to my events whenever I have them. And yeah, I like it. I feel like, of course, there are a few limitations. I do travel a lot to go to different opportunities, but I love having Durham as a home base, just for the fact it's home for me. I feel comfortable there. People support me there. And I mean, with everything being online, if I need to go elsewhere, I'll just travel to it for now.
Yeah, and that's where, you know, the world that we live in today, where, you know, travel and telecommuting and things like that make it a lot easier, I imagine, both for you as a founder and to recruit talent.
Yeah, exactly. And also with Durham, like, you have Duke University there. You also have a few other universities. So it is great to be able to work with college students or people coming out for that talent as well. So.
Yeah, I like the plug. Like, this is good.
Right?
All the entrepreneurs.
Shout out to Durham.
Our last conversation, Brian was making a really good plug for Miami, but I don't know. Durham is sounding like a really appealing place to be.
It's pretty dope. We're there, so, you know, you might as well just come visit American Underground.
But you are, you know, as we mentioned early on in the interview, you are kind of in some of the earlier stages of founding your company. You have had the opportunity to already bring some revenue in, which, you know, some entrepreneurs at your stage would say, like, I don't know, revenue is going to be a couple years out.
Yeah.
But what has it been like for you to be building your company? You're acquiring users quickly, you know, revenue is starting to come in, but you're also starting to think about, okay, what is my first round going to be with investors? You know, how do you balance all of those different pieces?
Yeah. So, well, I was a part of Digital Undivided, which is an incubator in Atlanta that we briefly mentioned. And I know through that was like the first time that I actually thought about funding, to be completely honest. And just going through that and just seeing the different types of investment options. After our demo day, I did decide to wait. I thought it would be best to just make sure that I had a business, you know? Like, I wanted to make sure that we could make revenue. Like, I knew that there were quirky people out there. Like, even before the program, we had about 50,000 social media users as well for the platform. Since then, we've grown to about 150,000. And now we're making revenue. And I just wanted to just see what we could do. I want to get a proper evaluation before I get to that. But now that I am looking towards that within the next few months, I'm thinking about accelerators. So I think that'll honestly be our next step, is just to, I definitely want to get as much education as I can as possible as a new founder, a first-time founder. So I'm pretty sure another accelerator will probably be the next step.
Yeah, that's really fantastic, and a good reminder, you know, for all of those entrepreneurs that are looking for programs, or for, honestly, ecosystem builders out there who are looking to serve entrepreneurs, of, you know, thinking about what stage are you at, what do you need, you know, what are you looking for, I think is such a smart way to approach the work that you're doing.
Exactly. Yep.
So how big is your team now, you know, as we're talking about kind of your growth and your scale?
Yeah, so and it's going to sound horrible. I'm a very slow person to bring people on. I've brought people on in the past, and it wasn't because they weren't great people. I feel like I wasn't the founder that I needed to be to tell them what I needed them to do. So, but recently I have been just breaking apart. Like I said, there are different parts of Quirktastic. We have the content site, we have the e-commerce, the events, and then now the app. So I've been kind of just attacking each like revenue stream, like one by one, like, okay, who do I need? So, I am the CEO. We also just brought on a CTO, which I'm excited about.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. So that'll be where we work on the app Connie that we're building. And then I have for the Quirk Shop, like we have people that help with customer service and social media, of course. The content site, we have 2 managing editors. So I'm just trying to see like what needs to be done and just bringing people on slowly.
Yeah, all of the different things that founders have to think about simultaneously.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Oh, and I have an accountant because money. Because
Manage
money.
your finances.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes.
Well, before we wrap up today, my burning question for you is, what is the most popular content on your site right now? Like, what are people getting really into?
All right, so we do these pretty epic list of like cosplayers and quirky businesses. So there have been a few things. So we recently had Black History Month, which the cosplay community does 28 days of Black cosplay. So so it's been amazing. And now with Black Panther out, everyone's been doing Black Panther and like the Dora Milaje, which are the women in Black Panther. So that's been super exciting. And then a lot of the thought pieces on Black Panther, especially Killmonger. I won't spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it, but it's
you need to see it.
Yes, please see it. But yes, so definitely Black Panther. I feel like it's just definitely galvanized a lot of people of color to see themselves presented that way, and like a movie like this is like really why I started. Like I wanted to see us in media, and it's just amazing that it's happening now. So
well, and it's interesting because I've seen even a lot of shorthand developing across different communities of Wakanda, which is the society in Black Panther, being used as a place where the Black community can feel like they have power and ownership and are part of decision-making processes.
Yes.
And so I think that's also just an amazing moment of something translating from what could just be pop culture into like applicable, okay, let's talk about how we create those spaces here in our culture.
Yes, so many great conversations have come from this, and I'm just excited. Like I feel like it really feels like we're paving the way for the next generation, so.
Yeah. Well, incredible. On that note, with your great ambitions of paving the way for the next generation, we will wrap up. A huge thank you to you, Bryanda, for being here today. Everybody, check out Quirktastic. You have a panel here at South by later on this week.
Yes, I do, called the Quirky Black Lunch Table. It's on March 12th at 3:30, so definitely come out to that. We're going to be talking about how we've worked with brands in the past to market to us. We are very deep, 43 million people of color that are quirky, so you definitely want to reach us.
Perfect. Well, thank you again, and we will be back with our next round of Facebook Live interviews soon.
Yeah.